Welcome once again to another brand new episode of The Citizens on Dove Television. This is that program we get to talk about politics and everything around politics, and most especially what concerns you as a citizen, because a whole lot and so much has been said about leadership. There is also need for us to start talking about followership. Like someone said recently, that I think we've had so much conferences, summits, seminars as regarding leadership. Can we start having engagements around followership? Yeah, ask God will be helping us by the grace of God, because there are so many things we need to do as citizens of this nation in a way to ensure that we get the best of our desires as concerning Nigeria. And like they always say to us, that we deserve the leadership we have in the country, because our leaders are products of followership. They are from us before they become who they are today, before a president becomes a president, before a governor becomes a governor. He or she has one been, a citizen. I think the first birth will be citizenship. So if you and I can play our quotas right, this nation will become better. So I welcome you once again to the Citizens on Dove Television, and my name is Mike Adekunle. Today we have something special to talk about, and it is one thing we will not stop talking about. It's around good governance, around politics. And I have joining me here in the studio two wonderful politicians and children of God. Of course, they are in politics, and they are children of God, and they are making huge impact in the areas of their callings. I'm talking about politics right now. The first I would like to introduce is the National Coordinator and Convener of Redeemite in Politics and Governance, and he is Comrade Femi Cole. Good to have you, Comrade Femi Cole. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Thank you. You're welcome. And next to him is a man with many caps, though he's wearing one today, but so many caps. But then, just in a way of streamlining, Chief Kolade Segun Okeowo is here, the coordinator is the coordinator of Directorate of Politics and Governance here at Redemption City, and of course, the convener of Believers in Politics. Good to have you, Chief.
Thank you very much, Pastor. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
So glad to be here.
And congratulations on your coronations.
Thank you very much.
So how did you receive that, and how did the people receive that with you? An evangelist, a pastor who is now a chief, a politician, like I said, you wear many.
Well, as long as it is acceptable for a child of God to become a king,
yeah,
and we have so many examples,
sure.
I think it's also acceptable that a child of God can become a chief.
Yeah. We are proud of you, sir. Yeah. For us, for me, I would say, God got your back. Just keep riding on. Keep riding on. Keep making impact. In politics, you are there. In community engagement and all that, you are there.
A traditional institution.
A traditional institution,
in drama.
Also in drama. We are proud of you, sir. We are proud of you. Thank you so much, sir.
My pleasure.
So, gentlemen, today we are going to be looking at politics and governance. Achieving good governance in Nigeria as a case study. Should it all be about politics? Should it all be around politics? Can politics be separated from good governance? So let me start from you, sir.
Well, thank you very much, Pastor. As long as the whole world, or let me say the greater part of the world, has agreed on democracy, the government of the people, by the people, and for the people, there is absolutely nothing you can do. Governance is about the management of human and natural resources, which will never be equitably distributed, which will never be enough. The ability to manage resources, the ability to put resources in the right perspective is what you're calling governance. And you cannot divorce politics from governance in any community where you have agreed on democracy. In Africa, in Nigeria, let's zero down to Nigeria, we have agreed that it is democracy. How do you divorce democracy from politics? Because, of course, you want to ask people to come and give you the permission or the authority to lead them. You need to do politics. Politics is involved. So you cannot divulge politics from good governance. There's nothing you can do about it. So the two goes,
Together.
the two go together.
They are inseparable.
You can't.
All right. So let's hear from you.
Yes,
Comrade.
well, I want to believe that the best resource we have had, that God has given us, are the human.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because we have humans in abundance, there will always be a need for leadership.
Okay.
We have so many people, but one person will need to lead us. Now, the mathematics, the arithmetic, the manipulation, orchestration of choosing the
leader.
person to lead us is the politics.
It has to be around politics.
Yes, that is the politics. And we have other resources to be managed. While people are focusing on the one that has been chosen, those who chose him also needs to be catered for. Like Shiv has rightly said, okay, the management of the scarce resources. Well, in our own case, we can say we have the resources or some of the resources in abundance. Okay. But the management of these resources is the governance. Okay. Now, the marriage between politics and governance will abide forever. Either we have military era or democracy, there will always be politics because we always have resources to be managed. Now, the problem around the world, and if we narrow it to our nation, is how are we managing the resources, available resources, and the scarce resources? Now, who are the people that we have chosen, either by selection or election, that are leading us? Who are they? What are their vows? What do we know about them? Now, before they got into power, what do we know? Now that they got the power, because politics has to do with power and authority. Now, if you don't have the power, you beg everyone, mobilize, do all manners of things, play some manipulation to get the support. Now that you get the power, you know, they say power is good, but absolute power, do what?
Corrupt,
absolutely. So people want that power. And the moment they get that power, there is a need for accountability. Now, that is where the hiccup or the problem will lie. When we choose you to lead us, now it is expected that you are leading us or representing us should come back and be accountable to us. Okay. Like we always say, the politicians don't have power. People who choose them have the power. But because politicians know that if you demand for that power, anything can happen. So,
but sorry to cut in, but the issue now is the way you have talked about politics right now, it appears as if there are two different things, but we cannot separate them. Yeah. Politics and governance.
Yes.
Good governance are that. Yes. But then it appears that there is so much around politics that has captured the attention of our leaders that we have elected. You know, the manipulation, the playing the politics has so much occupied them that they don't have time for, you know, governance. So how do we now, you know, analyze it, separating politics from governance to ensure that now that you are our leader, we have elected you, stop playing the politics and focus on good governance. So what do you have to say about that, sir?
Well, let me disappoint you.
Okay.
That may end up becoming an utopia, something that will not happen.
Okay.
When you say you want to divorce politics from governance, now you have been elected, face governance. The process of governance itself requires some politics. What is politics? Politics is not necessarily election.
Okay.
We cannot narrow politics down to election. Election is only a fraction, maybe a big fraction. Well, you can say maybe a big fraction, but it's a fraction. There are other fractions of politics. My brother just talked about the scarceness of resources or the scarcity of resources. In the question, in the place of governance, you are still going to do the mathematics or the arithmetic of sharing. How do you share the scarce resources? For example, a governor is making a decision on the roads to allocate. There are 11 roads to be allocated within the time frame of his, of his tenure, and there are more than 120 roads. How will he go about it? There's a need for politics there. There's a bit of politics that will be involved. The question of who are the people in that particular environment? Who are they? how much of the road do they need? Now, I can't, as a governor, I can't do 120 roads.
Okay.
I can only do 11. Now I have to take a decision. Out of the 120 requesting road, which one will I attend to out of from the 11 spaces or slots that I have? That's politics. The management of humanity, the management of scarce resources, the management of mischief.
Okay.
Because even in
politics, there are mischief.
There are mischief makers. You must manage mischief makers. People who are going to look at you and say, why did you say 11 roads is what you are going to do? Why not 20 roads? Why not 30 roads? And you are trying to explain. Look at the indices on ground. Government is not miracle making. Or governance is not miracle making. I cannot do more than 11 roads. And sincerely speaking, he is right. He can do more than 11 roads. But the people are saying, no, you must do 120. He has to explain. Mischief makers, out of the explanations he has made, mischief makers will make news.
Twist it around.
Twist what he has said around. He has to manage that too.
But talking about resources, so
yes.
Let's be practical. Nigeria is a case study.
Yes.
Are you telling us that the resources are not available, really?
There's nowhere in the
Let's
world.
talk
There's
about
nowhere in the
finance.
world where resources are enough. There's nowhere in the world. Resources are never enough.
Okay, should I not say, don't let me say that they are enough. But in Nigeria, are we not having what it takes to deliver good governance? Talk about money. Talk about natural resources. Look at crude oil, for instance. So are we to say that we don't have them enough to cater?
Please, can I say something before?
So
So that
All
we
right.
will take the question back to
right.
Chief. First, both politics and governance has to do with decision making. Decision making. That is the major bridge or the key between both. Decision making. In politics, you choose who will represent.
You take decisions.
Now, in governance, now you have limited or scarce resources, even if they are in abundance. Now, like the example he cited, we want to do roads. We have 1,000 roads to be done. Then what we have now can only do 11. You will have to think what is going to be the economic benefits of this road to these people, to this state, to this community. So it has to do with decision making. Now, you want to allocate some fund for education or something. You have to look at the economic benefits. You don't just do road, you know, for the benefit of, for just doing road. So you have to, so many things are attached to it.
You people are politicians anyway. You are speaking as one, and I'm in the side of the citizen right now. So, because I don't know.
Pastor, I wouldn't accept that.
Okay.
We are all politicians.
Politicians, all of us.
We all
Including myself.
Yes, oh.
Okay.
Including you. Do you know that? You see, when we are talking about politics, our concepts, our mindset is always about election and partisan politics. What we are doing, myself and my brother, we are involved in partisan politics.
Okay.
So there are various types of politics.
Okay.
And can I shock you?
Okay.
There's politics even in the church.
Yeah.
Headquarters.
Headquarters of politics.
Even in the family, there is politics. You know, I had reasons to challenge a pastor who told me, there's no politics. I said, the day a senior deacon or an elder in your church and the youth leader have a disagreement, and deep down in your heart, you know that the senior deacon or the elder is wrong, very, very wrong, 100% wrong.
Okay.
And the youth leader is right, 100% right. I said, take decision. What will you do? He said, I will use the wisdom of God. I said, that wisdom of God. Why don't you just open your mouth and say,
You are wrong.
Elder, you are wrong. Or you tell the young youth leader and say, you are right. He said, no, I won't do that. So why won't you do that? He said, I will use. He was doing his hand like this. I said, that wisdom of God. So politics is everywhere. It depends on what you do with it. In your family, between children, there's a bit of politics involved. So it depends.
Okay. I told you that I'm on the side of the citizen. So I have so many questions, running. I've asked you one. Let's attend to it.
All right.
Okay. Now, should politics be all about manipulations and all that. You know, that because it's politics, it has to be manipulated, it has to come with gimmicks, it has to come with some lies. You know, because a whole lot we have seen in Nigeria.
Let me say this. You still cannot divorce politics from the practitioners.
Okay.
You can't have good politicians in a country or in an environment, in a community where you don't have good people. The man who became a politician today is coming from somewhere.
Yes.
He has a background. He has a background, he's coming from somewhere. Okay. A society has nurtured him. A society has raised him up. People tell me, they say the Nigerian police is corrupt. I say, no, the Nigerian police is not corrupt. The Nigerian police is only a reflection of the society. It's not the police that is corrupt. It is the society. The same way you say politicians are corrupt. No, politicians are not corrupt. The people are corrupt. It's the people. Who becomes politicians? Who gives birth to politicians? Do politicians come from the sky or do they come from the ground? Do they come from the society? Who breeds them? Who raises them? It's garbage in, garbage out. You see, I tell people, I said, every society, every country gets the kind of politicians it deserves. We get the kind of politicians we deserve. The man who is shouting today, who is human rights activist today, give him a position tomorrow, you'll be shocked. So it's a whole gamut of where we are all coming from. So, and that's why we are calling upon the church. The church is a rescue point for the politics of Nigeria. If the church will not raise politicians, if the church will not breed politicians from teenage, intentionally breed politicians with concept of nation building, with the concept of nationhood, patriotism, honesty. If we don't consciously breed politicians, we are in a mess. We are in a mess.
Are we doing that?
No,
so please, I want you to wade in.
Thank God for this citizen program. Yeah. Now, it says something. There is no politician without the people.
Okay.
The people make the politician. Nobody will get into power without the people, except if it's a military. Even in military, there will still be people that will support that person in planning coup. All right? So there will still be the people. So if you are talking about the politician, we should also talk about the people. Now, the people want to, what's it called now? Eat their cake, yet have it. It's not possible. Now, apart from seeing politics as mathematics, manipulation, now you see it as a business. Okay, you loan me money to do business, and you are coming back to collect from that money every time, and you still want profit. The money you are hitting from again and again, you can't get the profit because the money you gave me, you have collected everything. Okay, so you help the politician to get to power, yet you are coming to make demand for rice, little rice, make demand for little gari. You are not looking at the long-term benefits.
Okay.
So the people have fought there.
So he said something earlier, which I want you to corroborate, whether it's true, whether it's right or wrong, that politicians, that politicians, like when you have activists, have this person who is speaking good and all that, and by the time they get there, they still misbehave. Why? Why is that so? And are you telling us, or are you telling me that there are no good persons that by the time they get there? In this country, we have had somebody said to another person that, oh, you are too good to be a politician. You should be selling ice cream. So with that person, when he gets there, will he not do good?
Yes, it's possible that we have good people in politics, but we have more bad people in politics. Now, I will use the word bad in quotes because the people can actually make them bad. If people know that you are this person who doesn't joke with little things, that if we give you a loaf of bread, you'll be satisfied. So they will continue to bake, the bread and keep it somewhere. They know that you are only satisfied with the loaf of bread and not the whole bread. So people actually make the politicians bad. They make the politicians bad. That is just the truth. There are good people in politics. I cite this example. One of us governed this nation for about 3 months or 90 days. We saw the effects. We saw the effect, a technocrat. You know, we saw the effect within 3 months. But unfortunately, people who we hit from, or people who are, who suffer loss from the gain to our nation, they cried that we don't need this man. Why? Because he was blocking some things. If you want to be a good politician, you will block some things. And for you to block some things, you must have people that will back you up. But the unfortunate thing is that we as Christians, we don't push ourselves there. We don't want to be there. If one of us is there, we back off or we back out. We don't want to give that person continuous support. Now, let us see, for example, now, you are the chairman of this local government. I am councillor. He is the head of a party in this, our state now. You can see the flow. You are a believer, I'm a believer, is a believer. I will support you. Now, as councillor, I'm also raising people who become councillors or chairman. So when you leave, we can put other people, other believers there. You can see the flow.
But we don't have that flow.
There will be a continuous pattern. Yeah, the fault is with us.
Yeah.
Indoctrination.
Yeah.
Okay, the fear. Now, we started by saying chieftain, chieftain title. He became a chief. Some people are talking. And actually, some people are now kings. Some believers are kings. Why will some Christians be kings and somebody cannot be a chief? Now, why will others be in political position and we Christians cannot be? All right.
Now, I will still want us to, because there are a whole lot of lessons we need to learn from all this we are talking about. So I will still come back. But then, talking about technocrats, why is it so difficult that technocrats are not finding their place in the politics of Nigeria? Or are they there and we don't know, or what? Because even in this current administration, you know, we've seen a whole lot of, in the first year, let's say the first 3, 4, 5, 6 months of this administration, we have seen a whole lot of decision making, a whole lot of change and all that. But yet, nothing has changed as we speak.
Well, like somebody has said, that politics is not a dinner party.
Okay.
Neither is power served a la carte.
A la carte.
It's a struggle. Let me say it in Yoruba. Oh, Simbe. Oni báwo náà ṣe pín. Ẹni tó wà ńbẹ̀ gan-an wọ́n yàn jẹ. You are not there. You are questioning the rationing, the rationing power. Even the one that is seated at the table is being cheated. Now, politics everywhere in the world is a struggle. Nobody is given a role in politics on a platter of gold. It's a struggle. Now, that is where the Christian faith or the Christian mindset seems to be at loggerheads with politics. Okay. The Christian faith seems to be, well, I see it, don't struggle, God will put it on your laps. You don't have to struggle, you just pray, and God will do it miraculously. That is where we need to have some understanding. Okay. That, well, we do not doubt the power of God, neither do we doubt the existence of miracles. But let's think it this way. Is it possible for someone to become ordained in this our church without going through some rudiment? What miracle can make a man on the streets become a full pastor in the Redeemed Christian Church of God? Show me that miracle. No, I'm talking.
There's no miracle.
Show me that miracle that will make a man just walk into this redemption city or just say, God told me that I should be a pastor. So I present myself for ordination. What miracle will make him get ordained? That is it.
You have to follow the process.
You have to follow the process. There are procedures. It is like that also in politics. You got to get involved. Involvement is what we are running away from. And that is what is stealing, our ability to get involved in the process. Yes, there are technocrats. Yes, a governor may get to office and make decisions and say, I want this person, I want that person. Fine, that's okay. But there are people who have been involved in the process. There are people who are involved in the... As I sit there, I'm a party chieftain. And there are times we are asked to bring this and bring that. And the leaders will say, make sure it is one of us. Now, that's a problem. How do I now come to my church and begin to bring people when the leaders insist?
When it has been stated.
When it has been stated.
From one of us.
It must be one of us. For example, to become a councillor in the local government elections, you must present your party card. Where is your party card? How long have you been a member of this party? These are the questions they will ask at the screening. They will ask some questions. Okay, give us the name. Who is the chairman of the party in this state? Who is the chairman of the party in your local government? Mention the names of party chairmen in 3, 4, 5, 6 words. Now, if you are not covered,
See, this is the practical aspect of politics I'd like us to look into.
Yes.
Thank God that this is a blessing to us. Now, we are too emotional as people, and we are too spiritual. We want to spiritualize everything and think God will come down and just make some things happen. Now, God has done what he will do. Man needs to do what he needs to do.
Yes.
Now, a few years back, okay, somebody approached me, a young person wanted to become president of Nigeria. Now, nobody knows him in his community, on the street. Now, if he's moving, he will be in his car, wind up, be in AC, and nobody knows him on his street. And want to become president of Nigeria, not to talk of his ward, not talk of his local government. It cannot happen. Now, another person, the last election, there was somebody we were trying to interact with. She came around and she said she was going to be president of... Everyone wants to become president. They don't want to become councillor. They don't want to become chairman. They don't want to become, they don't want to learn from
the governor of my state.
Yes. That's the point. You are local. But before you are local, you don't start from the grassroots. He has said something very important. Do you know the name of your ward chairman? What is your association? Because I'm still going to talk about association now. Now, this person just woke up and said, God told me like 15 years ago that I'm going to be the president. It doesn't happen. God can tell you. You have to go through the process. Because politics and governance has to go through process. It has to do with this. Okay.
All right, we are due for a break. This process now, you will walk us through this process, and for us to learn to see, okay, because we have young people who are watching us right now, and so many citizens that really want to be involved in this. So we'll talk around so many things when we come back from the break. So we shall be back after this time out. Do stay tuned. Welcome to a platform for a robust, inspiring, and engaging conversation in the world of politics and governance, business, education, and more, and concerning you as a citizen and your civic responsibilities. Watch The Citizens on Dove Television at 1 p.m. every Tuesday, West African time, and a repeat broadcast every Thursday at 11 p.m. The Citizens, we are all in this together. Welcome back. The program still The Citizens on Dove Television, and I've got wonderful people here who are very vast in politics, and at the same time, they are children of God. Talking about Chief Kolade Segun Okewo and Comrade Femi Ko. Both of them are believers in politics and actively in politics. So before we went on the break, you've been talking about processes involved, in politics and all that to becoming. So I said earlier, technocrats, do they have place in this current system of governance we are running? And should these politicians, what should we expect? Because over the years, in Nigeria now, the democracy we are all enjoying today, right now, it's been over how many years now? Since 2009, 1999. Since 1999, we could all talk of an uninterrupted democracy all through to this point. Yeah. What have we gained from all these politicians? Can we still expect the good or the good governance we are talking about from politicians? Can politicians deliver good governance to us in Nigeria?
Don't throw away what my brother has said. This is not about politicians alone. Okay. It's not about politicians. It's about the people. Now, who are the politicians we are talking about in actual fact? I'm coming. I'm coming. The people have the power. The people submit the power to the leaders. And the people tell the leadership what they want. Now, let me show you. Let me show you an example. A very practical example. Okay. My first time in my political party, many years ago, one of the leaders was lamenting. And what was the lamentation? The local government chairman at that time, he said the local government chairman was busy tarring roads. What kind of stupid thing is that? Okay. Say, who does that? tarring roads.
So Tyre Road now
For them.
Now, just hear me. He said the guy was busy tarring roads. That what the hell? Does he want them to be hitting the tar on the road? Ṣé ká lọ máa bú ọ̀dà jẹ́ ni? And now, if those are the kind of people who are leaders of the party, woe unto the politician. See, we blame politicians. We're very quick to blame politicians. We don't know. We are not involved. We don't know the process. We don't know the struggles they get through. I have seen a leader, a governor crying bitterly. I said, I want to do this. The leaders of the party are not allowing me. They are insisting that this is what they want. And at the end of the day, I know this is politics, this is democracy. I give them what they want.
So what would he, as a governor, as a president, what would he what would he stand to lose if he had jettisoned those party leaders to say no?
The government,
I am going to do the good for my people.
It is government of the people. Now, are they not people? Are they not part of the people? It is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. That is why a leader must be surrounded by the right people. A leader who is not surrounded by the bad people will become a bad person, no matter how good the leader is. No matter how good. I have given an example again. Let me give an example. A politician who did very well in his constituency, in a section of the constituencies, he did visible and viable projects. Visible and viable projects. You know, running into millions of naira. Visible and viable projects. Physical projects, roads, this and that. In another section of his constituency, he wasn't able to do anything. He wasn't able to do anything. Nothing. He did nothing. But 2 months to the election, in the place where he did nothing, he sent some millions of naira cash to them.
Okay.
Now, where he did nothing,
okay,
when the results came out, in the place where he did visible and viable projects, he lost gallantly. In the place where he did nothing but sent money to them, he won massively. What lesson should that politician draw? What lesson should he draw?
Let me say this political analogy. Now, there is this a leader, a political leader, who brought out hen, was feeding the hen with corn. Now, he had to pick the hen, remove all the feathers. The hen was shaking because it was painful for all the feathers to be removed. All right. So as it was shaking, the man started dropping corn and it was going. Did you know that the hen forgot the pain and started following that leader again? That is how it is. Because of the corn. So while some of us are crying about infrastructures and talking about good governance, there are a whole lot of us who are just about stomach infrastructure.
Majority.
Once something enters their stomach, they are forgotten about everything. And that's just the truth.
And those are the voting population.
Yeah, I think the danger, in the illustration you painted, I think if I will have my way, I would support a single tenure for political leaders. Because I have the concept, or I have the idea that, okay, I'm coming back the next time to seek for your vote. Oh, I will have to do some things, you know. But if I know I'm not coming back to seek for your vote, I think I'd rather do good and make sure I do what I needed to do and it's done. Are you getting what I'm trying to say right now? Because I will not have to come back to start. So for me, I feel a single tenure rather than the 2-term, whatever that we are running right now. I don't know if that is correct.
I, to a large extent, I will agree with you. Of course, that is also fraught with several disadvantages.
Okay.
You know, you see, the whole thing is not just about you alone. You are the governor, fine. You are the president, fine.
I just feel being a governor, being a president, you have what is called political will.
It's not about you alone. Okay, what if you present a bill? The Constitution requires you to send your bills to the House of Assembly. What if the House of Assembly gangs up against you and say your bill is not going? What do you do? Your bill will not fly.
Okay. Because you did not do
the
stomach infrastructure.
So it's not just about, you can't just narrow it down to the issue of, okay, one time.
Even the one time they can frustrate it.
Even that one time.
They can frustrate that one time.
It could be so frustrated that at the end of the day, you will look back and you will have achieved nothing. in your 6 years or whatever one time. So it's not about the principles or the system of governance. No, it's about the people. It's about the people. No matter the good measures, no matter the good principles you put in place, if you don't have good people, it will be messed up. The way we do things in our churches, why are things still sane in our churches? Why do we have sanity in our parishes? It's because of the people that we are putting there. We ensure that the people will go through a process, training, baptismal training, workers in training, school of discipleship, Bible college. They go through processes. And can I tell you, despite all the processes, don't we still have bad eggs? We still have bad eggs. Now, how about a process that has no such system in place? There will be bad eggs. That's what we're talking about.
Now, I would like you to take us through the process in politics. And together now, we are now going to look at the lessons for the citizens in all of these so many things you have pointed out. So you being a party man, very active one at that, take us through what are the processes one needs to follow in becoming, should I say, a politician or a technocrat who want to get involved in politics?
It may not be necessarily formal, but I have an example in the Bible.
Okay.
Very simple. Okay. Mordecai and Esther. Mordecai and Esther. That is a very good lesson of political mentoring. When Esther got to the palace, she got to the palace on the platform
on the account of the
uncle. Very simple. Now, when Esther got to the palace, can I ask you, who used the political power? Esther or Mordecai?
It was Mordecai.
It was Mordecai who used the power.
Yes.
As far as Esther was concerned, she was just there. It was Mordecai who used the power. Now, that happens a lot in politics. That happens a lot in politics. That's why I told you that time that the governor you are seeing, the governor you are fighting with, you are fighting against, you are probably fighting against the wrong person. Esther was the one who killed Haman, Abi, directly. But indirectly, it was Mordecai who used the power of Esther. In many cases like that, you won't see the person using the power, because the person using the power is at the background, using the inner person as a toy, which was what happened directly in the case of Mordecai and Esther, who printed posters for Esther, who collected INEC form, who collected INEC form for her, who was a campaign manager. Is it not Mordecai? And when it was time to use power, is it not Mordecai that used the power? Very simple analogy. We need to raise people like that. You have not raised anybody. You have not raised the governor. You have not raised the chairman of the local government, and you are putting a call through to him and say, hello, you know you are our brother.
You are our own, no.
You know you are our own, no. No, it's not our own. It's not your own, no. A structure owns him. So you can't call him, even if he's a pastor. Even if a pastor that came from a church. But when he was going into that office, there was nothing came from here. He was not tutored from here. He was not raised from here. If Mordecai did not raise Esther, he wouldn't have had the effrontery to call her and say to her, you are sitting down there. You are sitting down there. You are not doing anything. You better rise up. You think it was fun for Esther to say, if I perish, I perish. No, it's not just about godliness that made Esther to say that. It's not about godliness. Well, maybe godliness, but not only godliness. She remembered where she was coming from and said, this man will collect the INEC form for me. This man that did my campaign for me, that sponsor.
Go back. If I don't do
anything, I must do something. And that's why she said, if I perish, I perish. Oh, Mordecai, now you talk. You are the one talking. I will do anything for you. That is the reality. And that's why I said there must be procedure. We must be deliberate about it. And that's why I'm happy we have a Directorate of Politics and Governance, even in the redemption.
Okay, I wanted to ask you that. Okay, you now been there. What are you doing to raise people? So let's go.
Before we go into what we are doing, we have a lot we are doing in DPG. Now, like Shiva said, and I will continue to call him Shiv.
Sure.
I have told him I'm the Otunye. Now, the culturalization of our people. Now, he's a politician. I am a politician. We have other politicians in the Redeemed Christian of God, in the body of Christ, in the Pentecostal Fellowship. We have a lot of people, Christian Association of Nigeria. We have politicians there. Now, what impact of these people can we feel as a church? I'm not trying to be biased, but if you see other religion, you will see that they have a line, because it's one of the things in politics. If somebody is a governor now, and the person will spend 2 tenure, that is 8 years, they know the next person. They know the next person
after the 8
years. Okay, they know the next person after the other 8 years. That's 24 years plan.
Okay.
Now they have another one. The person will take over. That's 32 years plan. But once one of us is there, you might not see the person again, because we are not building a culture. So there should be a culturalization. There should be a system in place that, okay, this person knows, this person
who are
knows.
those that will put such a system
Now,
in place?
we have started in DPG and other platforms that we have. We have started some things. Okay, so we should have this. Then we should also understand the power of association. The fact that somebody is a politician, don't run away from that person. There is a lot to learn. Now, you don't have to be in politics to be the governor or the chairman or whatever. He has mentioned Mordecai. It was just a word from Isaac to Esau. The year you get the dominion, you will break the yoke off. That when you get the political power, you are going to get your freedom from your brother. Did he get it? Yes. When he got the political power, he came back with 400 bodyguards. That's going to, in fact, more than a governor's entourage. He came back and said, now I have the power. The one who is spiritual came back and was bowing before the one who has gotten the political power. We must understand political power. And those of us who are in politics must begin to build people. Now, how do we do that? Find in your heart, first discover that you need politics, because politics controls everything.
Everything.
Now, you need politics and you need political power. Find a party of your choice. Do due diligence to know about the party. Then find where they are meeting, either the ward, the zone, or wherever they are meeting. Get to know who is in that party. Let the person, indoctrinate you about the party. When you are convinced, go there, be registered. When you are registered, you will get your membership card. All right? Attend meeting. When you attend meeting, don't be spiritual about, don't just keep quiet. When you need to raise your voice, but let it be creative. When you need to crack joke. When you need to hail. It is not crime for you to hail in politics. It's like they say, on your mandate, this Baba, I've always told you, on your mandate we stand. They say no mandate anywhere. You see,
it's our leader.
Yes, I always say on your mandate we stand. Now, there is a point where you hail, okay? Because even in church, if you don't respect your leader, you know that person, you cannot climb high. Leaders are ladders. Okay, so in politics, you must also learn to, when your chairman is saying something, give a song. There is a song, so many things you learn.
Leaders are ladders.
So there are so many things to learn in politics. When you join them, you see what they are doing. The only part is let them know that you are a Christian. When they know you are a Christian, when there's a need to pray, they ask you to pray. You pray in Jesus' name. Then you know you are a Christian. But when you need to support them, you support. When you are going to a meeting, you know your number. Maybe you're about 50. Get biscuits, get sweet, get pure water. Volunteer to do these things. You are raising a voice. Make friends in that party. These are processes. You don't run politics aloof. You make friends because you need number for politics. Even if you are not going to carry any, posters or thereabout. If you want to be a voice, you need the number. That is one side about it. Now, the other part, let's come back to church. We cannot talk about politics and still be docile about it. The church will talk about church, preach about politics, talk about this. Next year we are going. You don't just wake up one day and say we are going to support somebody during an election.
Waking up.
No. Which is very wrong. So I want to address that issue. Now, when the election, 2027 will be contesting for another election. Now, when it is that time, 1 year to election, you begin to see posters. You begin to see some of our brothers rising. Now, I see some of my brothers now, vying for a councillorship. Now, what have been their input in their party? Who has known them in that party before now? Okay, so you don't just wake up into politics because it is planned. Like I said the other time, the governor that is sitting now, when he came on board 4 years ago or 5 years ago, they knew the next person, like we have said jokingly, Yewalokon. They know the next person, they know where it is going. They will do all manners of schemes and it should still go to that person. Now you are just coming from the heavens or from the blues and you want to contest against that person. It's not done.
The structure that have been
No, it's not done. When you see somebody who is coming out, you begin to ask, who are your opponents? When you hear that the chairman of the party, you want to contest against the chairman of your party, you want to contest against the youth leader of your party, who has him out? And when did you join the party? What has been your input? Who are the people behind you? Now, what influence does the governor, the sitting governor, or local government chairman has over you and over your party? So there are so many things that are involved. We don't just wake up one day and say, I want to become. No,
God
you don't just become.
God told me.
People, yes, God. I have heard that again and again. That God has told me about 15 years ago that I'm going to be, and you did not belong to any party. They did not even know you. When they say, oh yeah, Jekalo, in your street, nobody will follow you. You cannot win anything. You cannot even win in your household. So politics goes through process.
This is a whole lot. Now, I want to ask, should we have career politicians? And because, I've said it earlier, I don't want to bear the name politician because what we have seen from them had not been encouraging because they have always been in circle. You are the same person, you have been the local government chairman in your state. Now you are the governor. After being a governor, you have gone back to Senate, just in a circle, minister and all that, as if you have nothing else more about your life. And you are not giving room for others who wants to come in. They say, his Baba is there. He has always been there. So he's the next one. You just finished being a governor. Can't you leave the seat for someone else to come in?
Can I say something? Can I say something? I said something the other time. And don't let us forget in a jiffy. Apart from the manipulation and everything we say about politics is a business. People invest into politics. And whatever you invest your time, your resources, your life into is a business for you. Yes, you expect a dividend. Now, while you are going to office with your suit, they are strategizing. They know what and what. Now, Lagos State we talk about now. Some of us we hail President Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. Now, there are Oshaeko in Lagos. There are decision makers. There are decisions. They know who will become governor. Not even president. They know who will become governor. If our current president, we go against these people, he might not win again. They are decision makers. All right. So this is our own business. You might not even know them. Yes, you might not even know them. That's their own business. There are people that are called political strategists. Okay. Now these are people who are their own work is politics. They give you strategy upon strategies. Just as we have technocrats. Technocrats will come, learn from them. They will give them strategies, eat their money, and some other stuff. We must talk about money. Okay. So technocrats will come. The strategies will guide them. But the technocrat must be in the pipeline, must have had a relationship with the politician. Now, one of the reasons why we are having recycling is because you are running from vying from office. I am running from vying from office because I'm a Christian. He's running. No, he's not running anyway. I'm just using the analogy. Now, from vying from office. So some of us are running, and we are not posing any threat to them. They know that if they do, hey, we will run away. We will run away. So we have not built the capacity. We have not built the knowledge. We have not built the. Now there's what they call what's called. They have the money factor. They have the other factor, but there's what we call the nuisance factor. If we don't learn the nuisance factor in politics, we cannot win. We will contest 1,001 times. If we don't know the nuisance factor, we will not win. Do you know all these boys at the garage? How many times do you get there and say, hey, Uriye, give them money, Omo Basibe, Kiniko, give them shop.
So many of them.
And we need these guys. They are the major decision maker. Because when they will not vie for office, they don't have anything to do with your party, but they have something to do with your person and what you have. Your personality. Sometimes when you are driving and something is about pastor Niyo, if you pastor Sileo, they know you as pastor, all right, because you have a relationship with them. But if you are driving, you splash water on them, you even abuse them, you cannot win anything. All right. So nuisance factor is also a factor in policies we must learn. So politics is what we learn.
All right. Thank you so much. A whole lot. Thank you so much. So do you support what you say right now? That we can't have, how do I put it now? We must have career politicians.
Well, I don't like the word career.
But you
I don't like the word career as if politics now becomes a full-time job.
yeah,
But you
yeah,
see,
that's what I'm saying.
no, you
They
see,
do it full time.
well, I don't like the word career.
Okay.
I don't like the word career. But you see, the reality is this. Whether you like it or not, there are people who are needed for strategic reasons.
Yes.
For example, now, as a politician, if I leave this studio now and I want to have a meeting in the next 1 hour with certain people, they are just a call away. Hello, can you meet me so place? We're going to have a meeting. You'll be shocked. I will get there. The place will be filled with people. Now, how many of such people can I call from the church? Who will not tell me, Emma Beno Pastor.
I'm in the office.
Now, there is a place for the people in the church. There's also a place for people like that. If, for example, as a politician, I have a strategic meeting and I'm told to come and show my strength in a place, who will I call? Won't I have people to call? Now, that is where those people you are talking about, the people you are, it's not as if they don't have other things they are doing. They do. They do have other things. But they have become passionate about politics that they are ready to leave what they are doing. For example, each time, as a contestant, as an aspirant, as a candidate in my party, I've had reasons to go and campaign in places. And I need to go with people. Who do I go with? Who do I go with? These are the people I go with. Because some of them, many of them are artisans, they are private business owners, but they have time for politics. Now, the problem now comes when you get elected into office. How do you throw away those people? Do you think God himself will be happy with you?
Those that have been with you.
Yes. Some of them some of them will stay with you from morning till night. The only thing they require from you is maybe refreshments and maybe transportation to go back to their different homes. Now, when you win the election, you look around and you say, these people, they are riffraffs, and you throw them away. That's one of the nuisance value that he's talking about. So you see, it's a system that you have to understand. If you want to change the system, you can't change a system that you don't understand. You can't. You can't. Nobody can come to us now, for example, in the Redeemed Christian Church of God, from another church or another religion and begin to tell us what is wrong with our church. We won't listen to him. We won't listen to him. But if somebody has risen, become a deacon, an assistant pastor, a full pastor, he becomes a PICP, or he becomes this, he becomes an intercontinental, and he says something, we are likely to listen to him because he has grown through the system, he understands the system, so he can provide changes, and we will all listen to him that he's making some sense. But somebody, no matter how big he is, no matter how spiritual he is, come from another denomination or come from another religion and tell us what is wrong with our church, we're not likely to listen to him. This is how it works in politics, and we must respect it, that our people cannot stay aloof and be given order and be given instructions. My brother mentioned somebody. He doesn't want to mention name, and I will not also mention name, who became very top. Within 3 months, he was in office. He was able to do so many things. We all loved him. But what was the challenge? Structure. The backup was not there. And so when he contested for a higher office, it was glaring. In fact, some of us knew the result before the election. We knew, even though we're passionate about him, but we knew that, there's a problem here. So these are the things we must understand.
So
we're on the home stretch right now.
Yes, please. Let's learn that we don't just have to be emotional about politics. Politics requires action.
You know what is making
not
us
just
emotional?
being emotional.
Yeah, you know what is making us emotional is the situation of things. We don't have time. We'll have talked about the current hardship in the land. You know, that alone can make one to be highly emotional.
That is it.
You know,
if you want to change it, join, like he has said. You cannot correct a system from outside.
You can't.
You have to be part of that system. So we want to correct it. Don't be emotional. Join
the system. All right. A final.
Well, my final word: politics is not about election. It's not only about election. There are more roles and assignments to play in politics beyond election. You don't even have to contest before you can be effective in politics. What are we even talking about? In my state, Ogun State, for example, election is about only 40 human beings. The governor, one deputy
position.
Yes, it's only about 40 human beings. It's only about 40 human beings. 1 governor, 1 deputy governor, 3 senators, 9 House of Representative members, and 26 House of Assembly members. 40. That's all what we are crying about, we're making noise about. But when a governor becomes the governor, he has the capacity to put in office, appoint in office, over 500 to 1,000 human beings as commissioners, special advisor, senior special advisor, senior special advisor, special assistant, senior special assistant, and you know, you can even appoint somebody as special assistant on rice and beans. He's allowed.
I must thank you, Chief. Chief Kolade Segun Okeowo, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
The director of the Directorate of Politics and Governance here at the Redemption City and convener of Believers in Politics. The Lord bless you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate you and we thank God for what the Lord is using you for. Comrade Femi Cole, thank you so much. Redeemite in Politics and Governance, conveners. We bless you and we thank God for your life. Thank you so much for your time.
Being here.
Thank you. Thank
Like
you.
to be
We
here.
appreciate you. Thank you. Viewers, we really appreciate you. Next time, we shall come for another fresh discussion as God will have it by the special grace of God. My name is Mike Adekunle. Bye for now and do have a great day.